This is the Slate Podcast, episode 30, take one, and Slate. Welcome back to the Slate Podcast, where we talk about music, movies, and media. I'm Jeff, and I'm here with Dario.
What's up?
What's going on?
Yeah,
Another
man.
episode.
Yeah,
We're
another
here.
episode. Yeah, we're here to talk about
Nothing's
Guardians.
missing. There's nothing we're missing here.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Nothing. All the Guardians are here. Jeff,
We're all here, baby.
me. Ignore the intro. There was somebody else in the intro, but in the whole our title sequence. Yeah, George is not here. It's fine. He hasn't. He's traveling, and so we
He's
decided
in Cali right now, the
in
West
Los
Coast.
Angeles. Yeah. Let's show a picture of him right now. Actually, that's too much trouble. I don't
That's
wanna do
George.
So yeah, but yeah, let's discuss. I mean, let's just get right into it because that's what people want. But if you like our videos, make sure to like and subscribe. And we do movie reviews. We do video essays sometimes. Jeff has a really good video essay. We haven't talked about this, but it's really good. It's either out already or it's coming out soon. So look out for that.
Is out. Yeah, I actually just stayed up until like 3 a.m. last night because I was doing another video that should be out right now. So yeah.
Yeah, and I'm also gonna make something like that. But yeah, let's get into Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, the latest in the trilogy. James Gunn, last Marvel movie
Last project.
in the Marvel, and now he's off to be the Kevin Feige of DC, which is kind of cool. But yeah, this is the third entry, and should we describe? Let's do a quick non-spoiler review, and then we're gonna go into the movie and review it. So,
Yep.
Jeff, why don't you start? What's your initial thoughts on the movie?
Initial thoughts, non-spoiler. This movie is far from perfect. However, it's everything I wanted it to be. I think this was the perfect last chapter in the trilogy. This was the perfect send-off in a way, a send-off for the team, and just a good way. I think James Gunn left on a really high note. Now we'll get into it later, but this movie, there's things that could have changed. There's things that could have been different, but due to the circumstances of James Gunn leaving, that's what shaped this movie. However, if James Gunn didn't have to leave, this movie would have been a lot different and probably better, to be honest. But yeah, this was everything I wanted.
Yeah, I feel like this movie is definitely the most different one out of the three Guardians. I feel like the first one had a very fun space adventure feel, and the look of it and the colors are way different. The second one is sort of like a continuation of that, but I feel like this is sort of like a departure from a departure from like the feel of the last two movies. I think this is the most different one. And I think I like it. I like it better than the second one. I can say that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about the first one. The first one is kind of unique, and it was the first like space characters in the Marvel universe, I believe, and like that was fresh and new, and it's obviously has like the James Gunn sense of humor and like storytelling, which James Gunn is like really good at, like putting hard moments into like a comedy movie, and that like only he can do. And like I feel like this is more of that. So if you love James Gunn's like silly humor, but also with these like really real moments, this is what you get in this. It's not without its faults. It's not perfect. There are a few criticisms that I have, but all in all, I think this is a very fun time. There's some great sequences in this freaking movie, and I honestly didn't know what to expect. I didn't think it was different than what I thought the movie was gonna be about. I didn't think it was gonna be about this, and I'll just say that for the non-spoiler.
Right. And it's funny you bring up the first one because I saw it recently before watching the new one.
Yeah, me too.
if I didn't see the first one recently, I would have said that this one's better. However, that first one, it's special, man. Like no, literally nobody knew who these people were. The
Mm,
Guardians have been a team in the comics for years. They got revamped in 2008, but still they were nobodies. Nobody cared about them. And then James Gunn made them be household names.
mm,
Everybody loves them now. And that was because, like you said, that movie, James Gunn was so good with the story, the
mm,
comedy, and he has a gift for making a movie about multiple people. We saw that with the what's the DC movie? The Suicide Squad.
yep.
He did it with the Suicide Squad and the show, The Peacemaker. He's also dealing with a few people there. He's just really good at making movies with a lot of people in it.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah,
and I like. I don't know if this is spoilers, but this is not like a end, like the universe is gonna end type movie. The stakes are very much lowered, and I feel like that was done very much on purpose. And I think it helps the movie. That is not like the first one is definitely like the whole. The first one is the Infinity Stone, and like if Ronan gets it, then a lot of people are gonna die. And if Thanos gets it, then the universe dies, and it's like, oh, they're gonna destroy the whole universe. So which is obviously understandable. They're establishing themselves as the Guardians of the Galaxy, so they gotta save the galaxy at first. But on
right.
this one, the stakes are definitely much lower, and they're telling a more personal story.
Oh
And I feel
yeah,
like
it's
this is, I mean, everybody knows this is sort of like it was Rocket's movie at this point. And I feel like that was so interesting that they can take like a character from the Guardians and just dive into their past. And like I feel like if they can keep that going, like the fourth Guardians is about Nebula and more about her backstory, which is very probably similar than Rocket's. I think that's a strength, and so I think
yeah,
it was very good. So watch it. I think it's definitely a worth a watch. Definitely in
for
the theater.
sure.
Um,
Yes.
and like that's I think that's what people are saying. Like I don't think
Bring some
theaters.
paper tissue. Bring some paper tissue because
I didn't cry.
you're
I'll
gonna
say
cry.
this. I didn't cry though.
You don't have feelings.
Yeah, maybe. I didn't cry, but definitely it hits you in the feels. It hits you in the feels.
Yes, yes.
All right, let's move on into the spoilers. Spoilers review. All right, let's review the movie as a whole. Should we go?
All right.
All right, you start.
Let's focus on the story. So earlier I said that this movie would have been a lot different if James Gunn didn't have to leave and this was his final movie. And to know that all we have to do is go back to the second movie, we saw that he set up the Adam Warlock character. So that was going to be huge. That was meant to be something big.
I don't think he set that up.
Yeah, in the after credit scene for
Yeah,
the
yeah, but
second movie.
it's probably not his
But
choice.
no, but hear me out. So the fact that that character was something minor just made me go, "Oh yeah, this movie was supposed to be something different." Then he got fired. Then he came back, and then they said, "This is your last one. You go to DC." That's what I think made the story. I think he was like, "Oh, since it's my last." I don't think that this movie was supposed to be about Rocket.
Mm,
I think this was going to be focused on Adam Warlock and maybe something else in the
mm,
Guardians, but I don't think that this movie was going to be about Rocket. I
mm,
think the fact that it was his last movie is what made it be about Rocket and you know made it be all this. So like this is it, you know. So I don't know. I don't think originally that was going to be the main focus, but I mean I'm glad it was because I really enjoyed seeing this backstory that it did it through flashbacks. And you know what that reminded me of? It reminded me of the Alice in Borderland.
mm,
We used to go back during certain moments.
yeah,
I was like, dude, this is just like that. And
yeah, yeah.
I really
So
enjoyed it. I
yeah,
did.
let's explain real quick. Like, let's talk about a little bit what this story is. So basically, I mean, the whole story is Adam Warlock comes in, and I guess he's looking for Rocket, and he
Yep.
hurts him. He like hits him. I don't know. He like
He
punctures his.
activates the failsafe in his
Oh,
heart.
okay, yeah, yeah, in
Yep.
his heart, which he never talked about, I guess, and they didn't know.
Never.
And so now they have to go and find how to deactivate that thing. And that's basically the whole movie. It's just like let's go out and
How to save Rocket.
how to say Rock, yeah. And then Rocket is basically in the movie through flashbacks, like you said. He's not.
Yep.
He's just unconscious the whole time, and then
Yep.
and then we're seeing these flashbacks to give us his backstory, which is gonna be important at the end. Um, and so the movie is like very low stakes because it's not like they're fighting a villain who's trying to take over the universe. It's just them like we gotta find this thing, and to find this thing, we gotta break into this and that. And so the movie is very concentrated in that aspect, which is why I said like I did not expect this when they went out, and I'm like, oh, is this what the movie is about? Like I can't. What
Yeah, yeah.
that's weird. And then, but the only thing that I was thinking the whole time is like when they're doing the flashbacks and we see Rocket in the prison and he's like making friends with his other animals. The only thing I can think in is like he said technically that he didn't have a family until the Guardians, and like this is adding him
Mm.
having well, friends. They keep saying friends, and I think that's on purpose because they
Yeah,
know
yeah.
that Rocket said like when he talks to Thor in Endgame, he's like, "Can you help me get my family back? Like the only family I ever had." And he tells Thor like, "Can you what is it like get you the crumbs out of your beard and help me
Oh
get
yeah,
my
yeah,
family
yeah.
back?"
Yeah,
So
yeah,
he
yeah.
he basically says like, "I never had anyone except for them." And maybe
Right.
which is and then I'm thinking like and then now they're adding this that they had these friends and he never mentioned them or anything at all.
See, that
Um,
could be two things. Like I said, this wasn't supposed to happen yet, or maybe it was never supposed to happen, and that's why it wasn't set up from the beginning. Well, kind
mhm,
of with his past,
mhm.
or and I like this one better. The the events, those events in the past, they were so traumatic, bro. They were so dark that he wouldn't even want to mention it. He
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah,
even
yeah.
want
I
to
mean,
say
that's
anything
definitely what they're
about it.
going for. He blames
Yeah,
himself from
yeah.
for their deaths, so he never mentions it. But I feel like he should have or something.
Mm,
But it's fine. It's completely fine that he
yeah.
doesn't
I
mention
didn't think
it.
about
But
that.
yeah, that's the only thing. Is like the whole time he said like this is the only family I ever had. Like these are only people I ever cared for. And then now he's like, oh no, actually he did have friends.
Yeah. He did, yeah.
And I guess it wasn't for long. And but like when he pictures himself dying, he sees them. Obviously, very important. But I guess you can chuck that off to like he's just very private and he never talked about that stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Um, and then the Adam Warlock, I felt like he was kind of underused. And I heard someone say like, "Oh, this kind of feels like they were forced to put him in the movie, and this movie is already so like big. Like you said, James Gunn basically went like, okay, I want to make this about Rocket now. If this is gonna be my final thing, let's make it about Rocket. And then the studio is like, well, you gotta include him. And it's like, okay, here it is. Even though I really like his story though, I really like.
And
And
it's a shame, bro, because I remember there was a lot of excitement
yeah,
when we saw that after credit scene years ago, especially because it was before Infinity War. So we were all like, oh my god, like
mm,
because he has ties to the Soul Stone
yeah,
in the Infinity Saga. So in the comics, so there was a lot of excitement. It was one of those things where, like you said, like the studio was must have been like, well, you set him up, so
yeah.
you
And
gotta pay it off.
and then they excuse it with the little line like, "Oh, you took him out of his cocoon early," which is why he's
Right,
like that much of like he's not really that much of an adult. He's kind of like an idiot, type deal.
right. Which could be meta too, because maybe he wasn't ready to be put in the movies yet. You
Maybe,
know?
yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah, yeah.
that's James Gunn being like, "You made me use him when he's not ready yet."
You're
So I'm just
right.
gonna make
And,
him a like a kind of like a side character and not really have that much. I mean, if you think about it, like what if you take him out of the movie? What does he do? Like
nothing.
nothing. I think
Nothing.
you can cut him out.
It's a shame, bro. And I saw on Twitter some people were upset, and I can understand because this is a huge character, bro. Like
Mm,
super important character, and he got reduced to a child. But to me, maybe I'm just not. I don't care about it. I don't care
mm,
about him that much. It wasn't like when in Thor: Love and Thunder where
Mm-hmm.
they completely ruined Gore, the God Butcher. I had a problem with that, bro. I
Mm-hmm.
was upset because I read the story and I thought it was cool. But this character, I was like, I don't
Mm-hmm.
care. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's a shame. And I even saw a podcast where one of the guys was at the premiere and he talked with the creator of the character in the comics. And he was like, Jim Starlin. And he was like, I didn't like it, but, I understand.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. I
even the
mean,
creator was like, nah.
he's coming back. I mean, spoiler
Yeah.
if you haven't seen the after credit scene, but he's now
Yeah.
a guardian.
Hmm.
As just to jump ahead a little bit, we have a new guardians, and he's in it, and he's part of the guardians, and he's like super strong. So like
Yes.
can he even die? I don't even know.
Dude, this guy is super OP in the I don't know much about him.
Hmm.
I just know that he probably won't be the super powerful character that he is in the comics, but
He's
I,
powerful.
I guess we'll see. I even have a problem, honestly, with Marvel making another Guardians movie, but
Yeah, and I was
we'll talk about it.
surprised. I thought Chris Pratt was basically eating out of there. You know, he's like, I gotta go back to Earth and find my family. But then, did you see what the? Again, I'm jumping ahead, but what
The
does the text
legendary
at the end?
Star.
Yeah,
Yeah,
will return.
yeah.
I was like, really? I mean, you're committing yourself to that. You don't have to say that. Like, sure, if he comes back, that's cool. But like, why are you like promising that he's gonna come back?
I think that's for Secret Wars. I think that's when
Oh,
he's gonna
okay.
come back.
Not
Yeah,
for a
either
Guardians.
Secret Wars or Kang Dynasty. Yeah,
So he's gonna be in that. Okay.
because
That's
everybody's gonna be in it apparently. So
yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Should we get what are your positives and negatives on this
I
movie?
guess, yeah, I'll start with the negatives.
Yeah.
I do have a few things. We already mentioned Adam Warlock. I
Mm-hmm.
think he was a wasted character, like you said. If they take him out of the movie, we would have noticed. Um, I had a problem with the villain, the High Evolutionary.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think he was that great, to be honest.
Yeah.
I really liked the actor. He was in Peacemaker too.
Oh yeah.
He was the bad guy in
There's a
Peacemaker.
lot of people
Yeah,
from Peacemaker in this.
yeah,
In this.
yeah.
Yeah. Let's.
His wife was
His
there too.
wife. I noticed her right
Yeah,
away. I was like, oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
cool. And I believe the pink girl is also from.
She's the rat, the chick with the rats.
Oh yeah. Oh no, that's Suicide Squad, right?
Yeah, Suicide Squad.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
okay. Which is cool.
yeah,
James Gunn is bringing back his people.
yeah, yeah. And so I don't know. At one point in the movie, I was like, bro, if this guy would have been like, what's his name from the boys? Um,
Jack Quaid.
the bad guy from the boys,
Oh, Homelander.
Homelander. If this guy was like Homelander,
Hmm.
where he just looks at you, because apparently he thinks he's a god, you
Yeah.
know. If he was like Homelander, where he's just in the room and he just gives you one look and you feel the tension, I think that would have been a better way to show him
Hmm.
as a threat. But
Yeah.
he was
Yeah.
like freaking out. Where's my raccoon? Like
He,
the whole
he
time.
he did have a few of the villain tropes.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
just telling his plan to Rocket, and then getting angry at everybody. I did like that everybody turned against him because that's obviously
yeah,
what would
yeah.
happen. But he did have a few of the villains, like when Rocket is crying and he goes, "You're crying, oh, spare me the tears." P182, P
Yeah,
one
yeah.
two three or something, and then
Something.
he
Yeah.
attacks it. That's so villain. Like he really has no emotions. Let's show him having no emotions. Like you just killed his
Right.
friend, and then that happened. But it's cool we got to see the origin. So he's
Yeah.
a very basic villain.
Not
But
the worst in the MCU, but also
yeah,
not really the best.
no,
You know,
no. I mean, I guess you can always
average.
argue that the movie's about the Guardians. So
And
like
Rocket.
in Rocket, so who cares? At the end of the day, but yeah, he was a little weak as villains go.
Yeah. And my last thing that I would say that I would change about the movie, I really had an issue with that scene towards the end where Peter almost
Oh,
died.
can I mention one thing real quick on the
Yeah,
villain before we move on? Do you think
yeah,
he's dead?
yeah. He's
Really?
gone.
They didn't show him. I just thought about that right now. They just kind of.
That's a good
I don't think
point.
they killed him. They just left him there. Doesn't mean he's
I
dead.
just don't see the context.
So here's the
See,
context. Adam
yeah.
Warlock, he killed his mom, basically. I think Adam.
Mm,
I think when Adam Warlock was fighting, like when the mom died, his mother, and then he's like attacking the Guardians. I was like, why is he attacking? It's not their fault. It's actually his fault. So I thought that he might join them in fighting him, but he never did that. So I think he could potentially come
mm,
back for Adam Warlock to have something to do.
that's a good point. We never
So
saw the body.
no.
I just think that because of the circumstances of this being like a send off, like there's so much meta in this.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want to see anything else from this movie ever again. Like
Yeah.
I even
But
had that's why I said I even have an issue with there being guardians
mm-hmm.
after this. Like
Yeah.
because this was and I'll go into this later, but this just felt like James Gunn's thing, like
Yeah. But
I don't know.
I think he's alive. They never shot him, and they definitely didn't kill him.
He
They
could come back. We didn't see the body, so
I think it's
um
almost for sure he's gonna come back.
yeah. Um but yeah, I guess my last negative too was I had an issue with that scene where they showed that Peter almost died
Mm-hmm.
and they had me for a second too. Like I was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, he's done. When his face started getting
Yeah.
big,
Puffy. Yeah.
then they did the thing with, and I was even like I told Benny like Adam Warlock was just in this movie to save Peter.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah.
it's saved by Peter. I don't know, and I just didn't like that, bro, because I feel like you either should not have had that scene at all because I feel like it didn't do anything,
Mm-hmm.
or commit and just kill one of them.
Yeah.
Imagine how much more painful this movie would have been. That would have been the dagger if you kill Peter after teasing us with Rocket. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I felt like that would have made the movie better. But I can see how maybe James Gunn wanted to kill him, but Marvel was like, no, 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 we want to play with him,
Yeah.
later,
Yeah.
or vice versa. But yeah, I just when that happened, I was just like, okay, I get we could have saved that time maybe, but
Mm-hmm. I mean,
you know,
some people are saying that the movie is too long. I think it's for stuff like that.
yeah,
Um, is that all your negatives?
I believe so.
Okay,
Yeah,
let me do my negatives and then you can do your positives.
yep,
Mine are the same. The villain is weak.
weak.
Uh, we talked about that. I think again, just copying you, because we have the same thing. I think I would put it like the fake deaths. I think in this movie we have three fake out deaths.
Oh yeah,
There's Rocket, right? First, we think he's gonna die, and they're yelling, and then last second he's in heaven or whatever, and then he comes back. Oh no, he
yeah.
didn't die. Okay, they didn't kill him off. Then
And
I
something
thought
quick
he
about
might
that
die.
scene,
Yeah,
he it drags a little. You think that's it,
yeah,
and then they add another scene where she puts her arm to
hmm
stop him.
hmm
So it was almost like, yeah, nah,
yeah, yeah. It's a fake out. It's like,
yeah,
and he's like, "Can I come?" And they're like, "Yeah, you can come."
yeah,
And then we come back to Earth. He's dying, and then she's like, "But not yet."
but not yet.
It's
But
like,
also, I love that scene because it also gave one of the best lines where she was like, "It was your story all along. You just
oh
didn't know it,
yeah,
bro."
yeah.
Ooh.
James Gunn and Rocket. Oh
Bro,
my
come
god.
on, bro,
Oh
come
my
on.
god. Yeah, yeah, yeah. uh, I don't think Rocket is that great. I'm just kidding.
Shut up.
So, so there's that. This fake out deaths. We have Rocket a couple times, and even when he came back, I thought maybe he'll just die fighting the bad guy. No, he
Me
doesn't.
too. I thought that too. Yeah.
We have Peter Quill. We already said that. Which when his face gets puffy, I'm like, there's no way. I didn't see Adam roll like I didn't think, oh, he'll save him, but I was just like, there's no way. There's no way they're gonna
Yeah.
kill him up. But for a second, I was like, are they really killing him off? How is he gonna survive this? But then I remember it's a superhero movie. Everybody can survive anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, And then the third one is Drax. I mean, they kind of
I
did
thought
that.
Drax was gone, dude.
Yeah, they shoot him in the chest, and then
Twice.
in the back. He gets
Yeah.
shot in the chest, and he's like, he can't breathe. And what's her name, Mantis? She's like, no, Drax, come on, come on. And then they shoot him in the back, and then you're like, holy. And then he's unconscious, and she's like crying, and he's like, oh shoot, is he dying now? That'd be crazy.
And
He's fine.
you believe it too because Batista has said multiple times that he's done. Like he doesn't
Yeah,
want to do it anymore. So when that happened, bro, I was like, oh, this is how they, you know.
yeah. So
Yeah.
those are the three fake out deaths, and so my main criticism is like no one dies, and that's just listen. I am not ever. I mean, I never thought any of them were actually gonna die. I was like, I'll believe it when I see it, and we're just
You
in
didn't
that
think Rocket
era.
was gonna die?
No, I was just like, I'll believe it when I see it, when there's a funeral scene. If there's no funeral scene, in my head is like, they're probably not gonna die. So that's just where I'm with every media. Like, again, I point to Stranger Things. No one dies in Stranger Things. Even
No one.
Max, when she gets killed, she's like basically dead, and you're like, holy crap, they did it. They killed one of the kids. No,
To the state dead.
she's just in the hospital. Um,
Yeah.
and same here. No one died. No one. Not Nebula, not Gamora, not Rocket, not Drax, Peter. No one died. We have fake out deaths. It's like, oh, it's maybe James Gunn being like, see, I do want to kill someone, but
Yeah.
can't. Marvel won't let me.
I
Um,
knew Rocket wasn't gonna die because when that happened, it was just way too early.
mhm,
I was like, nah, it's too early. There's no
too
way.
early in the movie.
And
So
then they
the,
started giving us the flashbacks. I was like, oh, okay, that's what's happening.
well, you could think, and again, it's like, they're not gonna give out something like that in the trailer. Like, it's obvious
Right.
like that Peter was crying in the trailer for Rocket, but then he doesn't die.
Right.
So it's like,
Right.
are they really gonna kill? And they would put that. But I was like, this whole backstory that they're giving him, it would be perfect to kill him off now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you give us our backstory, we know what he's about, and then kill him off. But no, they just made him more prominent. Like, he's the captain now. Um,
Yeah.
so there's that. That's one of my criticisms of the movie, and really just movies in general, I guess. And the other one is, I guess, the humor. I think the humor is really good in this, but also I was thinking about this when I was driving home. It's like there's two type of jokes in movies like this. There's the stop the movie to tell a joke, and then there's jokes that actually go with the movie that proceeds, like it moves the plot forward rather than like, hey, let's stop the movie for a little joke. And if you do
AKA
that, that
Thor
joke
Love
better
and
be
Thunder.
funny. Huh?
Thor Love and Thunder, you mean?
Yeah, it's 100%. Like that movie had no plot jokes. It was just like, stop, let's have a silly little gag here, and then that's it. So I have two examples to show this. Like, there's this stop the movie, which is the car, when they get in the car and Nebula doesn't know how to open the door. That's a stop movie for joke, because it's like, oh, they have the car, let's take the car, and then she can't open the door, and it's like, let's stop for like a couple minutes for this little joke, and then let's keep going with the movie. That's like, that joke is funny, but again, it stops the movie. But then you have jokes that go with the movie, and I really love this joke when they get into the ship, and they're pretending to be the mechanics, and the guys walk in, and he's like, and Peter's like, what are you doing? You could have killed all of us. And like, they're pretending to be mad, and then Drax is like, oh yeah, we're upset that you're in here. Like, he's really bad at it, and then the guy and the Peter's, I'm sorry, he's an idiot, and then he's like,
The nephew.
is that his nephew? I think he just works with him. He's
Yeah.
like,
No,
oh,
no, yeah.
he says that he's my
Yeah,
nephew.
that was the joke. Like he was dealing with the nephew of the boss or something like that.
Yeah. And then the guy's like, I get it. I have like this guy I love. This guy, an idiot. And then he's like, I was thinking of something else. Like that joke is hilarious, first of all, because they set it up. And then it's part of the movie. You can't take that joke out, because that joke is what makes him trust them. He relates, like, I got an idiot too. All right, yeah, you're fine. Keep going. So like, that's a joke that goes in the movie. You know, like you can't take that out. That's not stopping the
Yeah.
movie. That's a reason for the guy to trust them. So you
Right.
know that a joke works in a comedy movie when it's a joke with the movie. It happens in a scene and they need it to happen, and it just happens to be funny also, rather than like stop and then go. And then
I
this,
feel. Yeah.
and then lastly, is like this movie is a little longer than it needs to be. I mean, just like thinking about when they're getting off the ship, they have multiple exits of the ship. You know, they have the one with the kids. They're getting all the kids out, and then they go back in and they get all the animals, and then they go back out, and then it's like again, and then Peter again. So it's like some of those you could probably cut down a little bit.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree with you about the length and the comedy. I guess I didn't mention it because it wasn't. There was like one or twice where people were laughing, and I was like, okay,
yeah,
but it wasn't enough to take me out. Like other movies, Thor, that do it too much, and it just takes you out.
yeah,
And yeah, that bit about the nephew and how it kept going too because they brought it back
yeah, yeah.
later on. That was
It's a
hilarious.
good like reoccurring joke.
Yeah.
Reoccurring.
Um,
Yeah.
the other one you mentioned too, I just have one comment about that. I would say that maybe it was used for the movie, like you said, because when that happens,
When what
we
happens? What are you talking about?
the car, the scene
Oh,
with the
okay.
car, the joke with the car,
Yeah, yeah.
and tell me maybe I'm wrong, but when that happens, we go back to Gamora, and she's watching that happen,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe that's just Gamora to show Gamora like these guys are idiots. It's hopeless. There's no
Mm-hmm.
hope for this. Like they can't even drive a car,
Yeah.
but they're so determined to do this
Mm-hmm. Well,
that
that's different. The joke is her opening the door. That's a different joke of him not being able to drive the
oh,
car.
so you mean stopping for that? Not just the fact that they have to go into a car.
No, no,
It's
no, no,
just
no.
a joke about opening the
No,
door.
that makes sense. Yeah, they have to get in the car and like let's say you
Okay,
remove that joke about the door, they're still getting the
got
car,
you.
drive away. It's just like let's stop so to
For
see
the
a
door.
Nebula
Yeah, yeah.
like open the door
Got
and then
you,
she's
got
like
you.
it's a stupid design, you know, like who makes, you know, whatever. and then and then you can actually see the movie like starting up again because then he goes, "Let's go save our friend," and then music goes and then boom,
Yeah, yeah.
another joke of him like not being able to drive a car.
I see what you mean. I see what
Those
you
are
mean.
two different jokes. That one is part of the plot. Like you're right. Like it's like he can't drive, and she's looking at them like these guys are idiots, but they're still doing it. Like she even says like you must be a special pet, you know, if they're
Yeah,
doing all
yeah,
this for you. But that's
yeah.
not the door joke. The door joke has no
I see
purpose
what you mean. I
other
see
than
what.
just to be a joke.
Yeah, yeah. And it
Um,
happened like maybe one or twice or two more times that.
but
But like I said, it wasn't enough to take me out, so that's good.
another joke like that, for example, is the well, actually, kinda like the joke about the channels. Red is for blue, blue is for red,
Oh yeah.
whatever, whatever. Like that was kind of like stop and let's have a little joke thing, but still, it was funny. It was fine. It has nothing
I
to
didn't
do with
laugh
it.
as hard as everybody else in the theater because unfortunately I saw that clip.
Yeah, I saw that clip too.
Maybe
I
and the
thought you
first
hadn't
time it
seen
made me.
anything. I thought you said you hadn't
No,
seen
I did
anything.
see that one. I did see that one.
Yeah, I had seen
But
that one too.
the first time it was funny, so seeing it again, I was like, eh.
Yeah.
And actually, I would have stopped the joke at the colors, like blue is for red, black, blah blah blah,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it. Move on. The part about Mantis yelling, that was just a little extra, but
Yeah.
I would have stopped the joke there when about the colors. But
Well,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, that is the end of the joke. Cause then she's like, "You're right." He's like, "How am I
yeah,
supposed to know that?" And he's like, "It seems obvious to me." Um,
yeah, yeah.
I feel bad for Drax. Like they made him a complete idiot, and they even said like he's an idiot.
You
He's
are an
just,
idiot.
and that's basically. But it was kind of unfair for Nebula to say like he has no purpose. Like he's the muscle. He fights, and he's good at that. All
Yeah,
right, I think those are all my negative things. All right, let's go into the positive. Go ahead.
yeah, yeah. I I really love. Okay, no. Before I say this, what was this movie about? This movie was about a fictional talking raccoon, right? And his past, his tragic past.
He finally says Rocket Raccoon.
Ragnarok, he realizes he's a raccoon.
Mm-hmm.
Ariel, How is it that this movie, this plot, where I'm supposed to feel bad, where they make me shed a tear for a talking CGI character, how is this more touching than a plot where somebody's dying from cancer?
Yeah, I know. I knew you were gonna say that.
Tell me that, Dario. Why?
I tell you why. Two things: the writing and the directing. Oh, look, they're both
There
done by
it is.
James Gunn.
There it is. No, no, I wasn't gonna. Yeah, but
No, I wasn't
that's my
making fun
main
of you.
positive.
I'm saying it's true. He
The
wrote and directed
writing,
this.
yeah, the writing is in this is probably my main positive. Like the fact that you earned from the first two movies, from the plots from Infinity War, Endgame. I feel like everything here was earned. Um,
I
I
honestly
saw
feel
someone on Twitter.
I feel
Uh,
like if you even if you haven't seen the last two movies, just
yeah,
assuming like yeah, they are family, just know that. But then I feel like just the backstories you get in this movie is enough to make you feel for Rocket, even if you haven't seen the past movies.
yeah. Even things that you might not even remember, like the fact that Rocket and Nebula, they spent 5 years together,
That's right.
where it was only the two of them, and that's why. And then because of that, you get to pay that off. And okay, so there were two scenes, bro. The stuff with Rocket, it hit, bro. Like
Mm-hmm.
when he's talking with his friends and all that. But the two parts that hit me the most, bro, were with Nebula. The first time that they're watching Rocket, the footage of Rocket get worked on,
Mm-hmm.
when they cut to her reaction,
Mm-hmm.
bro, like I was like, dang,
Yeah, she's
like
crying.
she's trying, and that hit me
Mm-hmm.
because I was like, damn, she's the only one in that room that can relate to Rocket.
I was gonna say that.
She also has a connection with Rocket because they had a bond, bro. They spent 5 years together.
Mm-hmm. I actually
It
didn't
was that,
remember that. I didn't remember about the 5 years. I just know
yeah,
that she related to that. She talks about it all the time. I got this replaced. I got that replaced.
right. And then the other moment that got me even more was towards the end of the movie where they finally save Rocket, and then they hear his voice on the radio for the first time, and her reaction, bro. I was like, oh god,
Yeah, no, it's good.
like again because she thought she was gonna lose her friend, like.
Mm-hmm.
So it's things like that that I feel were earned. I saw somebody on Twitter say that, oh, they were just manipulating us with the cute little animals and all this Disney talk. Oh, friends, friends. But nah, bro, this was earned from the
Mm-hmm.
first movie. Maybe it wasn't really specific, like they didn't set up that he had friends, like you said, but it's been set up from the first movie that Rocket had a past, that something happened to him in his
Mm-hmm.
past. So when we finally get to that in this movie, it's really well done. It pays off, and that's my main positive. The fact that this movie wasn't shy about being dark, and going there to those places
Mm.
to be there, when it was those really dark moments.
Yeah.
And to be honest, bro, there were times where I was like, I cannot believe Disney just let him do that.
Mm.
Like, what was it? The one scene where the High Evolutionary killed his friends.
Mm-hmm.
Just that image of him holding the gun
Mm-hmm.
and his friends being on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bro, that hit. And the whole theater was like silenced. And like, you even started hearing a few, like
Mm-hmm.
people crying.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
that was impactful, bro. So it was those moments where you feel the pain and this darkness, bro. That I don't think Marvel has ever done that. Like
yeah.
they gone that hard with like, okay, we're gonna go dark. Like we're gonna show you.
I think even
Yeah.
I think even more than that moment for me was like, damn, this is crazy. Like when he first get operated and you can see the brain, whatever, and she goes
Yeah.
like, and then like touches, and then
Oh,
you can see him like super scared. I was like,
God.
damn, this is
That was
dark.
bro.
This is
And his
dark.
little voice, he was like
Yeah.
hurt.
Hmm.
Like, oh
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah. That was when I was like, yo, this is dark. They're really doing this.
Yeah, yeah. I couldn't believe. I turned to Benny. I was like, dude, this movie's really dark.
Yeah.
Like, and you know what's funny? So I went with Benny and his wife, and they asked me beforehand if they could bring their kid.
Yeah.
He's like 6 years old. And I was like, yeah, it's just a Guardians movie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. How can you say that? You know.
No, I didn't know it was gonna be this dark.
No, you're right. I didn't
And
think it's
no,
either.
but thankfully they found a babysitter, so
Yeah.
it was just them. But I'm glad because I don't think this movie, even though it's PG-13, like I was thinking if I had a son or a daughter
Hmm.
anywhere under 10 years old, I wouldn't feel comfortable them watching this
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
just too much, bro. Like
Yeah.
not too much to where, but still, like
Hmm.
they go to such a dark place where I don't know if I would want my kids watching this.
Yeah. No, no, it is dark. I was thinking that too. Like, is this for kids or this is definitely not for kids? I
Yeah,
don't think
yeah.
so.
And some of the imagery too, like I said, the when he shot his friends,
Yeah.
even the lead up to that moment, bro,
Hmm.
when Floor, the little rabbit, it was something about her yelling, whatever she was yelling, that
Hmm.
rocket, Floor, something,
Hmm.
something, let's go, or she was repeating something,
Hmm.
and that just made the moment even more like, oh my god! And then that happens, and then you just see them on the floor, and I was like, dude, what is going on?
You
And
see
then when
floor
he
on the floor.
screams, and then when he goes hard on the High Evolutionary's face,
Yeah.
bro, he went
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
And
You're right. I mean, all those things are implied, but they're not specifically shown. That's how you can get away with that, I guess.
they did show us what he did to him, to his face.
Yeah, later on, but not like then.
Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
still, but yeah, so to sum it all up, that's like my biggest positive. The fact that they allowed him, or they were like, it's your last movie, man, do whatever. It doesn't have to connect to anything. So he really told the story that he wanted to tell, and it was really dark. So
Hmm.
I really love that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I agree with everything you said. Like all of that is my positive as well, as well as the action. I think this probably had the best action. Like there's two. Like the first thing when Adam Warlock walks in, they're setting
Oh,
the tone. Well, first of all, yes, with you in the darkness, as soon as the music starts, you know that
Creep
Marvel is
by
now.
Radiohead.
Is that the first song?
Yeah.
As soon as
Creep.
that one starts, because you know the first audio that you hear with the logo has to do with the first scene, and I
Yes.
remember I was like, "Ooh, this has a different
This
tone."
feels right.
Yeah, it was
Even
like,
the way we pick up with him holding the cart, that
mm,
to us means nothing yet.
yeah.
But to him, as you find out later, means so much. Like,
Honestly, and that again, I can't help because this is basically a TV show. Let's be honest. This is another episode in the entry. So it's like
MCU.
here they are introducing another device that's supposed to be really important to the guy, but we never seen it again before. Again, that's just a
Yeah.
nitpick because this is a movie, but technically speaking, this is something that we've literally never seen before. I don't think, unless it's been like a
I
background.
was thinking about that, bro, and I was like, how cool would have been if we would have seen that thing at least once
Yeah.
in the first movie or the second movie, you
But
know?
that's kind of like an on a what's it called and on it's not fair for us to expect that because they're
Yeah.
not have they're this is not like pre-planned 15 years like every movie's not written right now and so like oh they
Yeah.
know they have to set this up like no like these movies are being written one by one and like it's written by different people and so like if a James Gunn comes in and he's like I want Rocket to have this little thing now you know that he's always had
Yep.
he's just gonna do that because it's just like what's more important, consistency through the movies or like telling a
Yeah.
good movie. Like that's what you're gonna go for.
Yeah.
So I excuse it, but it is just like in the back of my brain. I can't help it while I watch it. It's like, well, this is something he's always had. We've never seen it
Yeah, yeah,
before,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, right.
But
Yeah.
whatever. Um, so the darkness it starts right away. That first scene is so dark that I actually thought like my first thought was like, is this the universe where Gamora died? Like, are we in the different? Are we in that other plane? Like when they
Ooh,
never met Gamora or something? Because it was so dark, I couldn't believe it. Like they all
right.
seem kind of sad, and they're all like kind of there, and then you see him come in and he's drunk. Peter's is drunk,
Peter, yeah.
and for a second there, I was like, "There's no way this is our universe, right? Like this is another universe, right?" But then they start talking about Gamora, and I'm like, "Okay, no, no, this is it." But that's just to go show you, like it was so dark, even in the intro, that I was like, "Is this where? Is this? Are we starting in the other universe where Gamora uh, was there? I guess, or I
Yeah.
guess how do I say this? In the other universe where she was
The
taken from."
timeline the timeline where, well, but technically she's from the same universe,
No, but the
but the
timeline where
timeline.
they never met Gamora. You
Okay.
know what I mean?
Oh,
Because
okay, okay,
she
okay.
was technically taken from there before they met him. So in that
Gotcha.
other timeline, they're there. They just never met Gamora.
Yeah.
In our universe, they met Gamora and she died, and now they have a new Gamora.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
in
I
hers, she
see
was
what you
taken
mean.
from there. You know.
Yeah.
So there's no
And,
Gamora over there. Like there's
yeah,
another
and it
Peter out there that never met her.
right. And it's interesting that you said, that was what even the song what was used for the big credits. When you go back to the first two movies, the first movie, the intro, the very first scene was sad. But
Mm,
then we cut to the scene where he's dancing and then they show us the logo. The
mm-hmm.
second movie had the happiest intro.
Yeah,
And then
I was thinking about that. That's why I mean like it's so different because on the second
yeah,
movie, it starts with this funny fight, and then you
happy.
see Baby Groot dancing,
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know, and so
Yeah.
it's a very fun intro. In the first one, it's also sad. This starts with like because I recently watched it like you. Starts
The mom.
with the mom dying, but then
Yep.
it goes to Peter dancing, and that's when you do the
Yeah.
intro. This one is like, whoa, what is
Oh yeah.
happening? Like this
Oh
is a
yeah.
sad intro, and then this guy comes in, and the action is brutal. Man, like I've never seen. I was like taken aback. I don't know if it was because my theater, the sound was so loud. It was everything was very impactful. Like
Yeah.
seeing like the whole creepy thing with Nebula like that's
Yeah.
crazy,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it was like intense. It was palpable, like the action, and then they
Loved it.
have the other action, like the hallway scene.
The
That
hallway
was
scene, bro.
epic. Like that was so good. I was like,
Yeah.
this is what like that was not in any of the Guardians movie. I don't think there's any fight scenes like that,
So
especially
you
in the
think that
second
was
one.
really a one shot, like a true one shot?
No, 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 no. I don't think so.
No.
It's a whole CGI mess, but
Yeah.
it has cool moments. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
It looks like a one shot. That's what it is, and it's like, does it need to be in the movie? Does that scene need to be? Can it be taken out? Yeah, but it's like, no, we
So
gotta have some
cool.
action. Yeah, like let's see them. Like
Yeah.
this is why they're the Guardians. This is why they're still alive because they're good at what they do. And they just like seeing Rocket again climb on top of Groot in that scene. I was like, we're back. This is what we want. This is what we want.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so the
And I'm
action.
glad. I'm also glad that they brought Rocket back in time instead of having him on the bed the whole time. I think that worked out better.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
And I didn't mention this, but also like my I guess they kind of did set it up. But another negative criticism is like the way they parted. Like, seems
Mm.
a little like they're just like, oh, I mean, even Rocket, he's like, that's it. Like the group is done. And I feel like they did set it up with Peter talking to Mantis, and she's saying like, "What's your family? You never went back. Why didn't you go back?" But I feel like he doesn't have to leave the group to. And Mantis like going away too for no reason. She's like, "I
Yeah.
need to go." I'm like, "What?" That's
I
kind of like
think
kind of weird to me. Like when people are just like, the end of the movie, we need to have them separate, so they're just like, "Guys, I'm leaving." Like what?
right. Yeah, it felt kind of weird, and this is when real life starts impacting the movie. Like, not that scene wouldn't have happened if this wasn't his last movie. And I believe for her, it was just the same case as Batista. Maybe she just doesn't want to play the character anymore. We
Hmm.
know for sure that Batista is done.
He is. I
Um,
mean, I didn't know that. I didn't.
yeah, he's mentioned it a couple times
Well, they
that he's
definitely
done.
left it way open for him to be there.
And that's why I thought he was gonna die too, because
Yeah.
he doesn't want to do it anymore. So
Nope, he's there. He's there, and he's in the city dancing. That was fun. That last scene was cool. I like the
yeah, yeah,
dancing. The dancing scene
yeah.
it was sweet.
You needed that moment, bro. After going through all the
Hmm.
tears, at least for people that cried.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not for
You
me.
needed that happy ending after going through all this mess.
Yeah, I think I like it. I like it. I liked it.
Yeah,
So yeah, those are my positive. Mainly the action. I was not expecting that much action like that. Good of an action scenes. Um,
yeah.
but all in all, recommend it. Watch it if you haven't.
Definitely recommend. And one last thing, like, I think I probably mentioned it, but I also just appreciate that. And I'm just trashing on Thor, but
You are.
again, bro, just let the emotional moments happen. When Rocket was with his friends, the things with Nebula, the scene where Mantis was talking to the monsters that, like the one they killed in the second movie. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah. The big.
The ones that eat batteries.
Yeah. Uh huh.
Yeah, yeah. I was literally like this in my chair because I was like, they better not ruin this moment. Like
Hmm.
something's gonna happen. Like in the
Yeah,
second
yeah, yeah.
movie where they have that really cool shot, but bam, the rock hits Mantis. Joke.
Yeah.
I was like, God, please. But no, they just let it breathe. They let it happen, and I thought that was great, bro. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Like she has a purpose,
Hmm.
and
They all have a
damn,
purpose. I think they
they
did
just
really.
wanted batteries. The monsters just wanted batteries, bro.
They did really good at showing like everybody's purpose in the group, like why they're there. Obviously, Groot is the muscle of the group, so is Drax, but he's also like the funny guy, and he's a father. That's what he's meant to do. Obviously, Nebula is also a fighter, and she has that arm, which was bothering me for a second because I was like, "Oh, now she just has an arm that can do anything." It kind of, but I feel like
Mm,
because she was with Tony Stark, that's part of that nanotech, right? Is that the reason? They never explained it, but I feel like her arm is now like it's almost like an Iron Man suit. He can do anything.
and
He can turn into a gun. He can turn into a blade. He can turn. He can be arms to pilot a ship. Like he can basically do whatever she wants. So I'm assuming she
interesting.
got that from Iron Man. That's my
She probably did. It's probably nanotech. I wish they would have shown us like Stark Industries or something.
yeah. No, I feel like that would be too much. Like okay, we get it. That's one of the
Yeah,
things that they just add and like you if you've seen the other movies and you think about it, you'll get it. But I feel like
yeah,
it has to be Iron Man tech. Like she got it
yeah,
when she was in Endgame. But it was bothering me because it is one of those things like she has a weapon that can be whatever she wants, and it's kind of like a get out of
yeah.
jail free card for them.
Right.
But
Unless they establish rules or limits on
yeah,
it,
no, it
they
can be
probably
what.
won't.
No, it can just be whatever she wants. It's a
Yeah,
gun. It's a blade. It's little arms. It's whatever she wants. Um,
yeah,
but that last scene when they defeat the bad guy was also awesome.
yeah.
And the name is Rocket. Rocket Raccoon.
Rocket.
Rocket
Yeah.
Raccoon. Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah, yeah.
I had a last point, but I lost it. All right, but that's it. That's our review, right? For do you have anything else?
Where do you rank it?
Ooh, oh, that's a
Where do
good.
you rank it as a movie,
Hmm.
and how do you rank it within the MCU?
Oh, I thought you meant like in the Guardians. That's a Guardian movie.
Oh, I get. Oh, okay. Three questions. How do you guard it in the MCU, in the Guardians, and
Oh
just as a
God.
movie?
Oh my goodness. As a
You set
Guardian,
yourself up for the last
as a
one.
Guardian movie, I think the first one is still the best one, probably. Although this is a close second, I would say one and three are like this. This one is. I mean, the first one is barely better than this one, but I like this one. Oh, we didn't even talk about Gamora and her relationship
Oh
with
wow.
Peter.
Good. No, yeah. I guess to hit on that real quick. Oh, that was a point of mine. I am glad, Dario. I am so glad that in the end they weren't just like, "Oh yeah, I like you
She saw
now.
her.
I love you." Like and they kiss. I'm so glad that that didn't happen in the movie.
Hmm.
I'm glad that she went back to her people. Peter Quill decides to move on because I really would have hated it if they just say, "Oh, now we love each other, kiss."
Yeah,
Like,
that wouldn't have made any sense.
nah.
No, but I did like that they showed her like kind of like softening a little bit and being like, "I get it. This is
Yeah,
nice,"
yeah,
but they still gave her her happy ending when she goes back to the Rivagers and they're all hugging her,
yeah.
basically
It's her
showing like she
family.
does have a family. She's with
Yeah,
them now, and that's okay too.
yeah, yeah.
Although and basically saying yes, our Gamora is dead. She's not her. Like they're definitely making the point that this is not her. This is a different person. She's a what is it, scavenger?
She's a scavenger. Yeah,
Scavenger, yeah. And she has her family and they love her and she loves them. So she's good, but I did like that she was like smiling at the end and
yeah,
I
yeah.
get it. I get it.
There's
You
hope.
guys are
There's
good.
hope.
Yeah, there's hope. But yeah, they definitely did not get together and they might not. They might not.
We'll see. And also, this movie reminded me that she's Latina because when she gets mad, this is the first time that I heard that. That when
Mm.
when a Puerto Rican gets mad and starts
Yeah.
yelling at you, I
Yeah.
heard it. I was
Yeah.
like, damn,
Yeah. This is different.
it
This
came
is
out a
different.
little. It came out a little accent. Yeah,
She can't help it.
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, the first one first. This is a close second, and the second one I don't really like that much.
yeah.
Um, did James Gunn do the second one?
He did all of them.
Hmm. Okay.
Yep.
As far as a movie by itself, I would give this a solid 8. I don't think 9 just because of the villain. And yeah, if we had a better villain, it would be a 9. So I'll
Yeah.
give it an 8. As far as in the MCU,
Does this
this
crack top 10, top
yes,
5,
top 10, top 10.
top 10?
Yeah, sure. Can't remember much of the other ones right now, so it has the privilege of being very fresh on my mind. I would definitely watch this again, and that is a very big deal to me. So
Yep.
it has to be top 10.
Same for me. I need to rewatch it. I want to rewatch it, and I need to rewatch it just to properly get a judgment.
Are you gonna go to the
But
theater or are you gonna wait?
I might go.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. I
I
know
might
you.
go.
I know you have no problem going back.
Listen, bro. I went to see the first Guardians 5 times in theaters. I
Jesus.
went to see No Way Home 6 times in theaters. Yeah, I'm rich. No,
Yeah,
I'm,
yeah. Go, yeah, yeah. Apparently. All right, go ahead. We gotta close.
I'm
We gotta
not. I'm
close.
broke. Um, as an MCU movie, I guess I'll start as an MCU movie. Oh no, I'll start with the Guardians. I'm with you. I don't know if the first one or this one was better. I'm still trying to decide. As of right now, let's just say right now, after the first watch, I think this one's better. Maybe I'm
Really?
just a prisoner of the moment. In the MCU, some people might find this blasphemous, but I'm really considering top 5,
Don't do it.
right under No Way Home.
Okay.
And to be honest with you, the only reason why No Way Home's still at my top is because it's just rooted to my childhood.
Mm.
So there won't be anything that tops No Way Home ever
Wait, is No
in the
Way Home
MCU.
your number one?
Yeah,
Okay. Wow.
just because of the stupid nostalgia.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
And you recognize it too, so.
yeah, yeah. They know they got me. Um, no, but bro, I was thinking about it. I was like, dude, No Way Home right now, Guardians 3, Winter Soldier, Infinity War. Oh my gosh, that's blasphemy.
Wow.
Infinity War.
Wait, wait, wait. You putting this above Infinity War?
No, no. Let me chill. Let me chill.
Yeah, chill.
No
You
Way
can't
Home.
say that. This is not even.
No Way
You
Home.
can't say that after
No
watching
Way
it once.
Home. Okay, No Way Home, Infinity War, Guardians 3.
No Way Home, Infinity War,
Guardians 3.
on top of an Endgame.
Top 3.
Are you crazy?
Top 3.
Come on, man.
Winter Soldier.
Are you forgetting about Endgame and that final
Endgame,
battle in and Captain picks up the hammer, and then
I cry in this
got more,
movie.
and then Black Widow dies.
Yeah,
Jeff,
no, no, no. I
don't
haven't
make these
forgotten.
statements yet. You can't.
No,
You
no,
can't.
no.
You
I
can't. What do you mean it's
listen.
better than Endgame?
You
Come
know what I'm
on.
learning about myself?
No.
I love sadness, and I love
Endgame is
misery.
more sad than this. When Black Widow dies, bro, and they have that little scene at the end
I never really cared about Black Widow.
When Iron Man dies,
That was sad. That was sad. But
Jeff, take that
you
back.
gotta look at the context.
I can't take you serious. No.
This was more. No, okay. I gotta rewatch it again. But as a, that's what I'm saying. I think I'm learning that I like sadness, and I love pain and darkness because it just hits something in me, bro.
But
Like
I'm saying
I enjoy
Endgame.
watching that.
I'm saying Endgame is more sad than this. So if you're saying that it's about
Tony
being a
Stark was
tragic,
rich. Tony
huh?
Stark left money for his family, bro.
Who?
They're fine. They're doing good. Tony
Yeah,
Stark is good,
his
bro.
daughter. She was like kid, and she was a
She
cheeseburger
has
like her dad.
money. She got money, bro. She's good.
But she doesn't have a dad.
I don't have a dad. No.
Okay, so relate to her. You should be saying. You should be like, dang.
No, no.
He
Okay, I
sacrificed
gotta watch it
himself
again.
for the whole universe.
Can I say one more thing?
No.
I don't think I said this. I don't think I said this. It's in my video that I made. What? Okay, I'll just tell you right now. So in the video that I made, I said that like the actual reason, and I can't believe I forgot. Sorry. The actual reason why I put this as like the top under No Way Home right now or Infinity War. No, no. My statement is this was the best. I told you guys in the chat. This is the best movie since Endgame.
Okay, that's
I
fair.
told you that.
Yeah, that's fair. But that's not
And
saying that it's better than Endgame.
no, 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 no. I'm not trying to. I think I got too excited. Go watch my video.
Okay.
No. Okay, so let me take it back. So when I was watching the movie at when the credits were rolling, and I texted you guys, I think this is the best movie since Endgame for a really small detail. You didn't. You guys probably didn't catch it. It's dumb. Maybe I'm overthinking it. When I was watching, when the credits started rolling, um, there were moments from the previous movies, and they were made to see. They were made to look like pictures that were taped on the screen.
Yeah.
Literally, when I'm in the theater, bro, I was like, this. Tell me the last time one of these directors or filmmakers in the MCU felt like this about their creation. I was like, dude, this thing meant so much to him. Like, it was really personal. And I see you smiling, but as a creator, bro, as even if I get 2 or 3 views on something I put out, the thrill and the care, and you're a creator too. You know this. You put so much care and love into something, and then you put it out. And if the creator really put love and care on this, the viewer will feel it. They'll see it. And that's what I was feeling in that moment. And I was like, dude, this just elevates it more for me. Maybe because I'm someone that creates and I get a thrill out of doing something and putting it out, even if it only gets 1 view. But in that, it was that moment. It was a silly moment where I was like, dude, I didn't feel like this about No Way Home. I didn't feel like this. Infinity War and Endgame are great, bro. But did you feel like the Russo brothers? It was like theirs. Like this is what separates Guardians. I think
You remember
it
the
feels like James Gunn's movie. Like
yeah, yeah, it does have that personal touch
personal.
that
Thank you.
maybe Endgame doesn't have, but Endgame does have that really cool credit at
It,
the end of each
it
character.
is, bro. Yes,
So
but that's my point. That's what the word I was looking for. That
mhm,
personal touch elevated it for me. And I was in the theater. I was like, when I saw the first picture, because that's such a personal thing. Like you do that with pictures of your friends, your family. You put them on your fridge, on your
yeah,
walls.
I mean
And that little detail made me go, yeah, man, these movies and all this, it meant so much to him. Like,
that's definitely. I mean, this is definitely the only entry in the Marvel movies that does feel like a family, even more than Avengers. They're like a more personal, like, oh, they're, and they say it, we're family. I mean, in Endgame, Black Widow does say, like, you guys are family, but I feel like on Guardians of the Galaxy, I'll give you that. Like, they do feel more like a family. Like, this is a family story, like realistic family story. I didn't get to make a point about realism and like kind of like what a dysfunctional family feels like just like that little bit when they go into this spaceship to save Quill and Groot, and they break in there as they're like leaving, and like they didn't communicate, and they're like, we're in here to save you, and they're like, what are you talking about, we jumped out. Like, we don't need to save. And then they go back, and then they go back for again, they go back to save Mantis and the other guys, and when they get there, they just escaped. They did that a couple of times. Like, Peter's like, okay, we're gonna go in there, we're gonna rescue them, and we're gonna get out. And then they break through the wall. New plan. Let's just get out of here. So like that's great. Like, that's what a family does. Anyway, we're over time. Thank you so much for watching it.
I didn't finish my ranking. Hold on.
Come on, man. We're over an hour.
All right, okay. Sorry, I just had to put that out there. This was what Thor and Ant-Man 3 wish they were. I just gotta say that. And so
that's true.
Yeah. Tell me why I didn't care about Paul Rudd and his daughter this much.
Yeah.
Because I didn't. Did you? No.
No.
Okay. So thank you. So the personal touch. Go watch my video. That's what I said. The personal touch made it feel like this to me. Okay. Within the MCU, maybe top 5. As a movie, I'll give it a 9.
Dang.
Yeah.
All right, yeah,
So,
that's fair. I think that is that good. I wonder what it has in Rotten Tomatoes. Probably high. This is definitely one of the best entries. Can we say it's just the best entry in like Phase 4 or wherever? Like in long.
This is the second movie in Phase 5.
I think this goes to show, and this is my last point, that Marvel has nothing to do with if the movie is good. The movies are good on depending on who's making the movie, who they're giving the movie to. Like you're saying, like James Gunn, he can make a movie. That has nothing to do with Marvel. You know what I mean? Like, every movie, Jon Favreau made some great movies in here. Freaking Taika Waititi, you hate him or love him, he did a really good job in Ragnarok. He just went too hard on the second one, but Ragnarok, really great.
Good, really
No
good.
Way Home.
Yep.
They really cared for that movie. Like, you can see No Way Home. Like, no one was like, let's just get a paycheck and leave. No, they're like, let's pay our dues to the fan.
Yes.
So every time, like, I don't get excited just because a Marvel movie is coming out. It depends on who's making it. And I think Marvel has strayed from telling good stories and giving it to really good creators. And now they're just making movies. But when they do give it to someone like James Gunn, they knock it out of the park because they are who make Marvels, and they just haven't done it. Can we finish up? Are we?
One last thing.
Oh gosh! All right.
On that point.
Yeah.
To finish your point. Yes, and I'm glad that there's metrics and stats where they're gonna see that we went to the movie theater for this 1, 2, 3 times, and it's gonna make a lot of money. Keep giving us this, and I'm glad. Ant-Man. It didn't even break even. It didn't make much money.
Thanks.
But I'm glad they have those stats to be like, let's not do that. That's not gonna make us money. Let's do that.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Fortunately, this is why let's get excited about DC.
Oh,
This
he's writing and directing the Superman movie.
Hmm.
I cannot wait, Dario. I cannot wait.
Don't make him dumb. Superman, and like,
No.
I don't know how much humor he's gonna add to that.
I think he's already been called out for that, and he went on Twitter and he was like, "I'm not gonna treat it like Guardians.
Okay,
Like, chill."
All right.
No, because a lot of people were worried about that.
Yeah,
so.
that's fair. I mean, yeah, we haven't seen him do serious things.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching this episode. If you agree with us, like it, comment it, subscribe to the channel, and
Give a like.
Give it a like and share it. Yeah, I don't know. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
And cut.